if NAFDAC saw some traders or caught some traders with fake drugs, what are they supposed to do? They're supposed to confiscate those drugs, then prosecute those traders. Where are the traders that were responsible or that were trading fake drugs? Two, if everyone is asked to pay 700,000, is that a license for anyone that is doing any illicit trading to go ahead? The problem here is if some persons were truly caught with fake drugs and they are allowed to continue trading after paying 700,000 naira, then another person that was trading the correct drugs and all that is also expected to pay 700,000 naira to continue trading. What are you saying? You are encouraging those persons that are doing the wrong things, because possibly there's every possibility that those fake drugs may even be cheaper for them to acquire and sell even at the same rate with the original drugs. It's really a surprising thing to see that NAFDAC is having issues or a quarrel or a fight with Very Dark Man. Because when Very Dark Man started this whole activism thing, Very Dark Man started by calling out vendors that had products without NAFDAC registration number, products that did not do the necessary registrations with NAFDAC. That is where Very Dark Man started this whole activism thing before he ventured into other aspects of fraud and all that. So it is something that people were expecting, or we are hoping that VDM has this kind of synergy or partnership with NAFDAC that should help curb fake drugs and all those stuffs in society. But seeing this whole thing playing out this period is really surprising. The whole story started with Very Dark Man calling out NAFDAC over extortion of traders in Anambra State. The funny thing is the police in Anambra State calling VDM an outsider, but that's by the way. Now, after Very Dark Man called out NAFDAC that they were extorting the traders 700,000 naira, what was their reason? That they caught some traders in the market with fake drugs. What we know and what is expected is that when some traders or anybody is caught with fake drugs, those drugs are supposed to be confiscated. Then the merchant prosecuted for what? That fake drugs dealings. Now, if NAFDAC saw some traders or caught some traders with fake drugs, what are they supposed to do? They're supposed to confiscate those drugs, then prosecute those traders. Now, it is not supposed to be a general thing, but what happened? NAFDAC locked up all the shops in the market, allegedly, and asked the traders to pay 700,000 naira for their shops to be reopened. Now, as at when VDM was doing that video, doing this whole exposition, about 1,000 traders have already paid this money and their shops have been reopened, while those that have not paid, their shops remained closed. Now, the question is, how do we now know which of those traders that had the fake drugs? Or is it that by paying 700,000 naira, those traders that have fake drugs can go ahead and trade with their fake drugs? These are the questions that Very Dark Man is asking NAFDAC. Are you saying that if they pay 700,000 naira, you will not be able to prosecute anybody? You will not be able to show the public those drugs that were confiscated, those fake drugs that were confiscated? Or are you saying by simply paying 700,000 naira, you have the right to trade with those fake drugs in the market? Now, these questions have not been answered. We are seeing a different video from NAFDAC talking about fines for the violation or so many things that the traders defaulted. Like the man who made that video, who was addressing the traders in the market, made mention of windows for ventilation, that the shops had no windows for ventilation. So according to them, these fines accumulated to about 2 million naira. But due to pleadings and all that from different persons, either the traders or different persons, they decided to bring down these fines to about 700,000 naira. Now, if you're taking 700,000 naira from these traders for defaulting in whatever way or for not having ventilation windows, are you saying that okay, by taking these fines, they can still continue with the wrong practice. If they are supposed to have ventilation, are you using that money to provide windows? Or are you saying after paying these fines, they ought to provide windows before they continue trading? Because if they are just paying the 700,000 and after paying, you allow them to continue trading, meaning the reason why you find them is still not solved, or the problem is still not solved. So you are saying they should continue with that old practice if they pay 700,000 naira. That's not solution to a problem. So it simply means after 2 weeks, after a month, after a year, after whatever period of time, you can decide to come back and still fine them for doing that same thing if there is no change. But going by the initial reason why those shops were locked, which is some traders were caught with fake drugs. The public need to see those fake drugs that were confiscated. Then the public need to know who and who were prosecuted, because you don't expect that the public should be consuming fake drugs. This is not about Igbos, Yoruba, or Hausa, or whatever tribe. This is about the safety of all Nigerians, because you don't even know which tribe will come across those drugs, where those drugs will be sold. You don't know where those drugs will be shipped to. Then at the end of the day, people end up buying fake drugs. So if NAFDAC is sincere, if it's not extortion as allegedly stated by VDM, if this is not extortion, then people need to see those confiscated drugs. They need to identify the particular traders that were responsible for marketing these fake drugs. That is the only way, that is the solution to this whole back and forth. Because coming today to change the story and say it is about ventilation and other fines and all that, it does not make any sense. The questions that were asked initially have not yet been answered. Where are the traders that were responsible or that were trading fake drugs? Two, if everyone is asked to pay 700,000, is that a license for anyone that is doing any illicit trading to go ahead? Because if somebody, for example, the problem here is if some persons were truly caught with fake drugs and they are allowed to continue trading after paying 700,000 naira, then another person that was trading the correct drugs and all that is also expected to pay 700,000 naira to continue trading. What are you saying? You are encouraging those persons that are doing the wrong things, because possibly there's every possibility that those fake drugs may even be cheaper for them to acquire and sell even at the same rate with the original drugs. So if you go ahead and find everybody in the market for what a few individuals have done, then you are trying to say everybody should go ahead and practice the wrong thing. Going back again to the video about ventilation and all that, if you are saying that 700,000 naira are fines, are you still saying that they should continue with the wrong practice even after the videos? These are the things, these are the problems with these various agencies. And it is expected that these agencies should not be above the law. They should be answerable to the people. They are there to serve the people. So if they are truly there to serve the people, they are supposed to come clean and explain these things, explain these issues that have been highlighted, explain these things to the people and tell the people that this is for this. And when people find out, it should be what they have explained. But going back and forth, trying to call VDM names and all that without responding to the issues, it is not the right thing. And this is the problem with the various institutions we have in Nigeria. When you move from INEC to every other institution, they act above the law. So when institutions start to act above the law, then corruption becomes too powerful for even the executive to control, because the executives, they are humans. But if every institution from the police to every institution in the country is acting right, the citizens are acting right, you see that things will start to work well. But if there are some individuals and institutions that act as if they are above the law, then you see that things will not work well. So for a greater Nigeria, for a better Nigeria, it starts with you, it starts with I, it starts with all the institutions of government, all those places that are put in various places to act right. That is when true development, true progress, true success, true change can occur in the country. See you in the next video.